Hi friends, this is Capun Piso. Just talking about the same psychosis, religious psychosis nobody seems to see. The HIV of the neural array that destroys rational thought, just like HIV AIDS, but of the brain. And people that are religious are religious psychosis positive. Christianity positive, Islam psychosis positive, and so forth. Hindu psychosis, all this. Religion is a mental illness. And they don't see it. And I'm just talking about, this is what happened in Paris, you know, the attack in Paris by Islam psychotics. And the thing is that these people are really true believers because they kill for the tooth fairy. They kill themselves, they're ready to die for the tooth fairy. And hey, that's nothing new. It happened the Donatist circumcisions in the 4th century. They killed themselves for zombie Jesus. The Christians, the early Christians, the circumcision, for instance, were the first suicide bombers, so-called. The first. Check it out. But see, those who don't know the past, they're not intellectual, they don't see it, they don't study and do research and connect dots. Those who don't know the past are condemned to repeat the same mistakes. And the brain is the creator of thinking, and you have to, people should get educated and connect the dots to realize that religious beliefs are a mental illness. It's created in the brain, it's like a schizophrenia. The same thing. It's like it's a psychosis of the brain, and people don't see it. And this is proof right here. These people are ready to die. These Islam psychotics say, oh, they're all ready. They're ready to die for it because they believe in their psychosis, they believe they're going to have a really true life after death. And Christians should be doing the same thing. Well, they did in Jim Jones, for instance, in 1978, the Guyana massacre, the Double Heaven's Gate in San Diego. People killed themselves, and nobody mentions this. But religion is a mental illness. It's a religious psychosis. These people, the true believers, die to go to heaven. Like Andrea Yates drowning 5 children. This Christian psychotic imbecile, Andrea Yates, died to kill her 5 children. They drowned one by one many years ago, and because it is an evil planet, and so on. So there's so many examples. So anyway, this is nothing new. This thing in Paris. Look at it in Syria, everybody killing each other. It's all because of religion. Not in the name, because there's some idiot, imbeciles, uneducated idiots. They say in the name of religion. It's not in the name of religion, it's because of the religious psychosis. Nobody does anything in the name of tuberculosis, in the name of a flu, in the name of a bipolar disorder, in the name of a schizophrenia. No, they do it because of the disease. So that's a fact. And these idiots don't see it. And these people start waking up, and atheists, clueless atheists, sane, in other words, atheists, scientists and intellectuals, wake up. You know, religion is a mental illness. It's a big pink elephant that sits on your stupid brains and you don't see it. This is what's happening. Religious beliefs are a mental illness, a very dangerous, cancer-like, HIV-like of the neural array that makes people crazy and psychotic. It's all over the world.
So the people rolling are saying this is what France has become, something to that effect. I'd have to listen again carefully. As far as the brothers, one of them raises his finger up in the air and says, we have avenged the Prophet Muhammad, we have avenged the Prophet Muhammad, we have avenged the Prophet Muhammad several times, and then it makes some sort of reference to Yemen there. But again, unclear, it's from far away, but I think I can say with confidence that the first 3 or 4 sentences are of one of the Kouachi brothers, masked there, full body armor, you can see them all dressed. It's just how calm and collected they are. Chronologically, these 2 men have just
psychotic. Nobody mentions the brain. Nobody mentions belief in God is a mental illness. It's like a psychopathy. Religion is a psychopathy, and these idiots do not mention it.
From the pistols of the police.
The brain is the creator of thinking. We're in the 21st century. These imbecile, religious people are imbecile, psychotic morons stuck in the 12th century, and that includes the Christians. They started the whole thing 1700 years ago. There's churches in Paris all over the place. Psychopath, synagogues, psychopath. They're all people believing crazy stuff. Nobody sees it.
The police vehicle you see in this new video. So it gives us kind of a...
And they're truly religious because these people people want to kill themselves
They were for
to avenge the tooth fairy, Muhammad. There's no evidence. Zero evidence. A prophet existed. There's zero evidence that Jesus Christ and Moses and all that crap. They are titles. Jesus Christ is a title, Arquerios Megistus. Moses is also a title. They're not people. Goddamn imbeciles.
Absolutely, and we saw a video.
Religion is a psychopathy, just like a schizophrenia, like temporal lobe epilepsy, it's like depression, like mania, like bipolar disorder. That's what it is, like people under drugs.
They thought
Take LSD and some other drugs, and you'll see that you're going to start seeing writing Bibles, writing Korans, writing all that crap.
Understand, shot at the car.
All the religious texts written by over thousands of years ago by people under drugs. What kind of stupid morons, so-called atheists, scientists, and intellectuals don't say that in this 21st century? The brain is the creator of thinking, you imbeciles, not the ass. And this goes for the stupid atheists that don't understand this. Religion is a mental illness. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Equate it. Don't call it religion. Call it religious psychosis.
So why am I still thinking about
the terrorist psychosis, Islam psychosis, Christian psychosis, conspiracy theory psychosis, all that stuff. Idiots.
The age of technology to the internet, where inevitably, Carol.
See, what she don't understand is religious psychosis. Now, why women get attracted to terrorism, to the say radical Islam? A lot of these people don't understand that it's been going on for thousands of years. They're called sisters, ISIS sisters. Well, look at the monastic institutions. Look at the sisters. Why would a woman wear a veil to devote her life to Jesus Christ in a monastery? So you see, this is all due to religious psychosis. This woman is abandoning all life to have a good time and all that, dressing in black and white to serve Jesus Christ in a monastery. There's no difference. One is going to Jesus and devoted to Jesus. All the nuns do that. And then you have in the other side of the Islamic nuns. And Islamic nuns are all involved in, or the majority of them, they believe in the prophet and the hocus pocus nonsense, the Islam psychosis beliefs, and they get attracted to this life. But this life is going to be of terrorism, of religious psychosis, terrorism. In other words, they have a higher purpose, like the Christian nuns have a higher purpose to be in a monastery and pray all the time because they're going to go to Jesus when they died. And then the other ones are going to fight the Crusaders, and they devote their life to cover themselves, and they are nuns of Islam psychotics. They devote their life, they study the Quran all the time, and then because when they die, they're going to be with Allah and with Prophet Muhammad, with the rest of the nonsense crap. So it's all religious psychosis. One, the nuns don't do anything. The Christian nuns, they sit around and pray all the time and lock themselves in monasteries, and they constantly pray. They're psychotic. And in the other side, you have the Islam psychotic women. They're like nuns. They dress with these black outfits, and they devote themselves to avenge. Listen to this: to avenge the brothers and sisters killed during the Christian Crusade, so 1099 to 1250. So, and they hate the heathen and all that Christians. This is what happens. Some one are peaceful and all that, and they pray all the time. They don't do anything, like the nuns. And then you have the Islam psychotic women, Islam psychosis. There are the ISIS nuns, all that they call it radicalized. No, they're schizophrenics. They're schizophrenics. They're psychopaths, because religion is a mental illness. And so they go over there and they devote themselves to fight for Allah and destroy the infidel and also insult the prophet, and they use a gun for that. And they fight the psycho, because they're going to go to heaven. And they even kill themselves if they want to, because they're going to go to heaven. That's what happened to religious psychosis.
Their media arm, and so at least on its face, it has credibility, and I think.
What's Al Qaeda? Religious. It's a religious organization. It's no different than the Christian organizations, like the Jesuits and the Inquisition in the 1600s, to keep people to be Christians, and if you don't believe in God, they'll kill you and burn you. And then they have missionaries all over the place trying to impose their Christian crap on everybody else. And that's what happened during the Crusades for 250 years. This Al Qaeda, and they call it radicalized, no, it's religion. It's all religious psychosis. And Al Qaeda is simply a reaction to the Crusaders, to the United States, that go everywhere with the CIA and all that, imposing their American way, Christian American way, to everybody else. And they do it all over the place. The British did the same thing, imposing the Christian English way to everybody else, to all Africa, to the Middle East. Check about where Iraq comes from, Pakistan and all those countries. They are British creation. They are Christianity-infected Britain creations. Look at the Opium Wars, Christianity creation. They imposed it on China. The British. The Chinese revolted. They said, you are drugging everybody here in China. And that was in the 1800s. See, there's all Christian crap. They went to South America, they imposed everything, the Christian crap, missionaries all over the place. It's all Christianity. It's the Western world, is a Christianity infected. They are psychopathies, a cancer of the brain, Christian cancer going everywhere. And these are the reactions. Crusades are not reactions. I mean, the Al-Qaeda doesn't have reactions. ISIS is a reaction. This is what's happening. It's a reaction to this Christian crap. You have to kill the cancer of Christianity first, removing all the churches, turning into museums, putting these people in mental hospitals, and then you can fight Islam psychotics invading people, going everywhere in France and all that stuff. You have to get rid of Christ psychosis first. I think as a radical Islamist, they are Islam psychotics with full-blown version of the disease. The ones that pray and all that, and they go to the mosque and don't do that much, they are okay. They are, they're still crazy people, but they are positive, HIV positive type. But the ones that all of a sudden become radicalized or schizophrenized, and they act upon that, and they kill people, and they be all, you insult the prophet and all that stuff, they're simply full-blown Islam psychotics. And this is what people don't understand. Al-Qaeda is a reaction to the Crusades. The United States get everywhere imposing their Christian crap. It's all Christian crap. They bring the Bible crap to everybody else. They impose it, they shove it at people's throats. People don't like that. And that's the reason of the revolts. And that's the reason this is the reaction right here. See, it's all crazy people. Religious psychosis, the HIV of the brain that nobody seems to see.
Attacks back in Europe, the idea being that they would be trained in Yemen and sent back to Europe for attacks. We know that because Morgan Storm, this double agent, told us about this.
Now, this man writes a book about this. My Life Inside Al-Qaeda. And they never mention religious psychosis. They never do. It's just like if it comes out of the air, they just something else, but they never mention. These people believe in imaginary friends, in things that do not exist, and they kill each other for them. They kill each other. The ones that believe in Donald Duck, that is, kill the ones that believe in Mickey Mouse, and the other ones that believe in Santa. This is exactly what happened in religious psychosis. The people are killing each other for that. And then he doesn't understand that the CIA, My Life Inside Al-Qaeda, well, it's all religious psychosis. The CIA is a Christ psychosis. So there is a reaction. You have the Crusaders, they're all Christians. Christianity infected imbeciles since the 1099. And then you have the Islam psychotics, which they are a reaction to this crap of imposing the missionary pieces of excreta, going over to places they do not belong, imposing their Christianity garbage of the Bible crap of the 4th, 5th century to people all over, to natives. The Christian infected imbecile psychopath are the ones that destroy native culture. You don't see the Muslims doing that, the Islam psychotics. No. The Islam psychotics didn't cause all the rape of America, killing all this culture, destroying in Mexico the Mayan culture, the Aztecs, and all the rest of them, imposing the Christian crap to everybody. You didn't see the Muslims doing that. You see the Muslims going all over to South America doing all that crap. You don't see Columbus being a Muslim, Islam psychotic, the one that started the whole thing in 1492. No, they're all Christian. The Christians imbeciles. You didn't see the Muslims invading Europe, imposing the Islam in all Europe to the Pope. No, it was the Crusades under Urban II, that piece of garbage, disgusting man. Like all the Christians are all even in the Vatican, and there are billions infected with this Christian crap in this 21st century. You didn't see them. You see them going over to the Middle East, imposing their Christian garbage on everybody, cutting their heads off for 250 years. Not 10 years, not 5 years, 250 years of the Christian crap imposition in the city of Nazi Jerusalem. And chopping the hair off of the Muslim, Jews, and Orthodox Christians and Greek Christians and all that because of the Christian crap in the 11th century. See, people don't see that. It's all religious psychosis. Study history, get educated, and nobody does it because you have America as a Christianity-infected nation with millions of churches infecting the brain of children, keeping them stuck and ignorant and dumb. And this is the problem, and nobody mentions religion. Nobody mentions the brain. People act. The brain is the one that controls the body, controls the action of people. The brain is the analyzer of languages. You spew languages to get ideas. The brain is the one doing. When the brain malfunctions, you have religious psychosis. A fact.
It's an interesting thing to hear that message, Arwa.
See?
Just because people are offended by it, it's not inconsistent.
They're still offended. Of course they're going to be offended.
Hours ago, there was a Muslim man who came here to the offices of Charlie Hebdo and was visibly yelling, condemning the attacks here. You can still condemn the attacks.
They don't get it. It's religious psychosis.
Offended by this.
They don't believe since the 12th century.
On the cover, correct?
They don't believe to put the image of a prophet on the cover.
Exactly. And that's the issue here. A lot of the Muslims that we've been speaking to say that as a community they were already feeling alienated in France. France has been embroiled in this debate about national identity for years right now and exactly what it means to be Muslim in France. Many feel as if this notion of France is for the French is growing increasingly predominant. They are upset.
This is the problem. They don't understand that.
About the future. They're disillusioned.
They don't understand that it is in their faith, morons, ignoramuses of religious psychosis. They don't understand Islam. You cannot put the image of this fairy, this character that didn't exist, Muhammad, in anything. Get educated in history. These are imbeciles. That's what they believe. That's the reason they always have the Arabic symbols. And this is from the 8th century, 9th century. There was a big fight about the iconoclasm. And even in the Christian imbecile psychotics, they start destroying images of Jesus and all that stuff because they don't believe this in the 9th century in Constantinople. They crashed all the images. There was a big fight, and this lasted for like 100 years. No images, because it says in the Bible, no graven images of Christ or anything like that. The Christians started this crap. And then the Muslims took over it. And that's the reason they put all this calligraphy on it and no image of the prophet. They have images of the prophet with a veil in it, so you don't saw their face. And this is the problem. These people don't know history. Man, I get pissed off at the ignorance of these imbeciles. It is all a psychosis. It's all a mental illness. This is people stuck in the 7th century. Christians too, Christ psychotic, Islam psychotic, faith psychotics. That's the reason you don't put the image of a character in the damn book. It's in their religion. You cannot just say, start fighting against the Muslims and then expect them to be okay because you put an image of the prophet saying, oh, with a tear on it. Oh, no matter if you put him with a tear, with no tear, smiling or victorious. No, you do not put the image of this character in anything. Gosh, people are ignorant. Well, the idea of not to show the faces started by Christ-psychotic infected imbeciles, Leo, Emperor of Constantinople, one of those idiots, because the Bible said no graving images, and that's the reason. And this started like in 700s. And remember that Muhammad didn't begin until like late 600s, 680s or something like that. And listen to this, there's no evidence, there's zero archaeological evidence a prophet named Muhammad existed. No evidence. It's all the prophet Muhammad idea was like oral tradition, oral history. For 100 and some years was oral tradition, and then the history of the Muhammad was written down, called the Hadith. So there's no evidence, and you can see here. Look at this. Picture of God, and that. Look. Emperor Leo rule 741. And then made images, start breaking all the images in monasteries and all that. And the other monks were all pissed off. They didn't like the idea. They want to keep their sacred images. But that's what they must. Then the Empress Irene restored the whole thing. And Emperor Irene of Constantinople. See, in 787, she called an ecumenical council of bishops. Remember, she was an empress. She was a Christian empress, and she restored all the veneration of. And then he considered destroying the images, which it means iconoclasm, destroy images, a heresy, a heresy. But the Jewish psychotics, the Islam psychotics kept the idea of not showing the image of the prophet. So all the images of the prophet. The image first started with not showing the face at all because it was too sacred, and then eventually they got rid of all that and they just show all the Arabic symbols. That's why the whole damn thing is different. And the stupid Christ-psychotic infected imbecile, moronic idiots, ignorant of history, they don't realize where the whole thing comes from. Idiots. These drawings from about the time of the Middle Ages show Prophet Muhammad with a veil right on the Kaaba. And look at here, he's all full with fire and all that, all with the veil. See, and here is the tour of heaven, an angel with a psychedelic flower. These people use drugs all the time. Again, this is with covering his face. They don't use that anymore. But here is the night flight on a flying horse, touring heaven. And again, you see that here. And also, a lot of Islam, they cut their teeth, the front teeth. You see some of these terrorists without teeth in the front, it's because they're Islam psychotics. It is in the Bible. Keep in mind, if you believe in God, you're a psychopath, you have a problem with your brain like a schizophrenia.